and welcome back to my channel. Today's card I am going to use several Lawn Fawn products as well as my alcohol inks. Now I've had these for a while and I rarely use them due to the fact that they're messy and you really need to do them in a well-ventilated area because they are smelly. Now this is acetate that I have die cut using the Stitch Teapot die from Lawn Fawn, and it looks white because there is paper still behind it. Now this color looks pretty vibrant right here just because the white paper behind it, but it does lighten up quite a bit once you take that paper off. I'm just trying to keep the light color at the top and the darker one at the bottom, and then I'm going to set this aside to dry for a little while. Now I knew I wanted some cherry flowers, and they have some in the Let's Roll stamp set from Lawn Fawn, and I have stamped these out using some Lawn Fawn inks, and then I kind of colored in the center a little bit with, I believe it was the yellow Cricut pen. Now I have my stitched teacup die, my stitched teapot die, which you've already seen. I have also die cut some from my large stitched rectangle stackables. And the paper that I used was the Spiffy Speckles, which is one of my all-time favorite Lawn Fawn papers, as well as Gotta Have Gingham. I'm also bringing out the Build-A-Drink cocktail add-on, and this one is specifically for the use of the cherry. And now, I know it looks very quick, but I actually let this dry for multiple hours before I came back to trim off the parts that I did not need of this acetate piece. Now, I did leave part of the spout of the teapot because I want my teapot to look like it's glass, and you would be able to see some of the liquid in the spout itself. Now, because I didn't want my teapot to be completely full, I am going to kind of give it a little bit of a wavy cut across the top. This was a little bit nerve-wracking because I really wasn't sure if I was going to like the way it looked once I got it cut out. And as you can see here, it looks very strange, but we're not done. I've also done the exact same thing with the little teacup and some acetate. And here, I made a choice. I don't know that I super loved it. I have used the same die with some vellum and some double-sided adhesive. So I'm sticking it on top to kind of give it, I don't know, a layer of protection, I guess, because I was afraid that the teapot would be sticky, like the red part of it. But I really didn't like how that looked either because it kind of made it too cloudy and less like glass. Or I mean, I guess it could be still glass. It could be like a foggy glass, a frosted glass. I think that's what it's called. I wasn't super loving it though, but I get these stuck down, and now I'm trying to add all my other little pieces, and this was quite a challenge. I really didn't like how flat everything looked, so I decided to try again with some acetate, but this time I did the double-sided adhesive on it so that I could get it to stick, and I just cut around where I didn't want the pieces to overlap, and then it just looks so yellowed now because of all the adhesive. Yeah, this was a struggle. I had an idea, and sometimes they just don't come out the way I like them to. Now that I've placed all my cherries and my flowers, it still looks like it needs something else. So I decided to go in with my Copics right on top of the last layer of acetate to try to brighten the center. Now I do think this did help, and I tested it. It didn't rub off or anything, so I'm not really worried about that. Although if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that I am really bad about sending cards. So most of my cards just get put into a box and then they just stay there. So this is gonna probably be one of those cards. Once I'm as happy with that as I'm going to be, I decided I would stamp my sentiment. And for this, I did opt for one of my Simon Says stamp sentiments because they have tiny words. And the reason that I'm using my stamp positioner is because I am using a distress ink to stamp, and those are not super great for stamping. And if you have a stamp positioner, you can kind of work that out. But if you try to do it without one, you might find that it doesn't stamp the best. But now, here's my finished card. Hope you guys found some inspiration in this. I actually want to try this technique again and maybe make it a little bit better. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!